Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome everyone to Artscast and everything in between. I am your host, Eileen, aka Eileen Little Crafter. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Whether it's a heart, a star, a thumbs up, lets me know you have enjoyed this video. This podcast. Oh boy. And we really appreciate you listening. So thank you. Oh, geez Louise. Okay, coffee kick in. Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have been in a bit of a rut. I have been throwing around podcast ideas in my head, and this one kind of just came on the fly. So we're going to do the best that we can with the giving you the best information. And again, it is my opinion and from watching news clippings, reading about the city. So I'm just going to give you my heartfelt opinion about things, and, you guys decide for yourself whether or not if you agree with me. I'm going to be honest with you because I keep hearing this word liberal, snowflakes, yada, yada, yada. I'm a Democrat. I don't always agree with my party. And I think that there are certain things that need to change. And I'm not going to switch parties, but at the same time, I'm going to keep fighting the good fight and just, say, hey, what about X, Y, and Z? Why can't we do it this way? Why does it need to be done that way? It's not going to be beneficial. Like, I feel a lot of the times, there are certain policies put in place that do not help everyone, and it's only helping certain groups, and I feel that and certain political and financial entities of the city, like congestion pricing. I don't feel that it's going to help the people because, let's just be honest, sooner or later the fare is going to go up. They're going to say that they need more money, and it is going to be a problem. And I feel that also because they had also, which is very true if you look at it, in the zone of congestion pricing, there are a few other streets that also have been provided with cameras, and the statement that they put out to the press was that they want to monitor the traffic patterns in and around certain city, the city, Manhattan. So it's like, why do you want to monitor it? Like, you already know you put a keg bomb in place. You know that those smaller streets are going to be a problem, and that you have routed traffic into other areas that we're monitoring, like they're not the best, but at the same time, you just added more to a problem. And I feel like they're going to take that opportunity and they're going to expand congestion pricing. I feel like it is like 50 to 60% that I feel that they are going to consider that. And their justification is that because they need more money. Because it's going to be a problem where the cameras are going to be needing maintenance. The people that are going to monitor the cameras, the people that rented or whatever the cameras, most of that profit is going to go to them. And I don't think that it's going to go into where we need it to go. Now, in a funny twist, all of a sudden, MTA then decided that they're going to do more hiring. For the longest time, it was like, oh, we don't have enough money. Oh, like it just was not. To kind of, I feel, in my opinion, make themselves look good. Because, the media is everything. They just announced that they're going to be hiring, I forgot how many MTA workers. And I'm like, I know what you guys are doing. Like, that is just you're using the press to make yourselves look better and then justify, because of the congestion pricing, if we don't have it, then we can't hire more people and we can't fix. And again, the federal government has given you how much money? It's just, and again, I'm just so sick of, well, come to my neighborhood. Well, it was never your neighborhood. The people that lived there, you pushed them out and gentrified the neighborhood. It's just, ugh. And I do know that it does get trafficky. I do understand that, and I do know that it's noisy. But again, like, with the rise of no-zone schools, so our children need to be bused. The funny thing is, it's just that in my opinion, and I've seen this plenty of times where there are bus lanes dedicated just to buses, and they're not used. The bus lanes are not used. They are just there for show. And it's like, okay, so why isn't the bus using it? The bus is on the other side, taking up the other roadways. And it's like, okay, but you took out a whole complete lane for the bus. And they're not using it. And I feel, in my opinion, that the bus drivers that don't use the bus lanes should be mandated, or hey, why aren't you using the bus lane? What is wrong with you? Or penalized. I'm sorry. Because we get penalized. We get points, our license, whatever. But the bus drivers don't get nothing. I feel that, no, that's the consequences need to be happen on both ends. If you're going to put it for one, you should put it for the other. Another thing that really has gotten me so upset, and then Governor Hochul is just, once again, yes, it's going to be great. We need this. It's going to it's not going to vitalize our city if nobody wants to use the train. Nobody wants to use it. They have to use it. They have to use it because they have to go to school. They have to go to work. Or get to their appointments. But honestly, I really don't think that nobody wants to use the train. And not only that, the trains aren't safe. They keep touting about, this is down, that crime is down, but grand larceny is up. And I'm like, okay, so setting somebody on fire, pushing people over their edge, the stabbings and the shootings. Why am I hearing that more and more? And you're telling me only grand larceny crimes are up in the train station. So I'm like, no, I find it really hard to believe. So, as you guys know, we were expected these huge budget cuts, and the budget cut that really happened right before, I think, spring, or maybe during the spring time, early spring, a class of safety officers was held back, and I believe also police officers. Not 100% about the police, but I know for certain that the safety officers class was held back, and that our wonderful Mayor Adams decided to say, oh, well, if parents are so concerned, why don't they help monitor the schools? And I'm like, yeah, you need training for that. I also feel that that's a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. What I can say is that Governor Hochul now is having this idea, and again, ABC News just reported it, that Governor Hochul has said that she wants to thinking about banning cell phones from the schools. And I'm like, heck to the no. We don't have a lot of security guards. Well, actually, sorry, my apologies. we used to call them security guards. We've always called them security guards, but now they prefer to be called safety officers. So I apologize. So what happened was, a lot of the schools, because of the way they were built, they do not have metal detectors. And so therefore, recently, unfortunately, there was an incident where somebody had brought a knife to school, and there was some, people hurt during that incident. So as I was saying that, this gas. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, so as I was saying, unfortunately, some students got hurt. There was a fight, and there was a soft lockdown. Now, during that soft lockdown, what if somebody wasn't there? What if they needed help? How would they get the help? What if, God forbid, something happened to the teacher, or the teacher wasn't in the room and they needed help and nobody is there? Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't think that that's a good idea. I do think that if they want to ban them from using cell phones, for not even during your break, maybe that might be something, but that they should be allowed to be able to carry it, again, for safety reasons. I don't think that they should be ordering Uber Eats. I feel, and I have seen that in my son's old school, where students were allowed to order Uber Eats, and I see them, and I'm like, that's a student. And I asked somebody, and they're like, yeah, they can order Uber Eats. And again, I despise when I see these drivers coming down the road. I understand that they have to do a job, but they don't get off their scooter unless they're coming into the building. And I see them driving off, and I'm like, can you walk to the curb and go? Some of them are a little fast. Some of them are, respectful and go like really, really slow. So, but again, I've seen a lot more of them going more, faster than anything. And I'm not saying full on speed. And I've seen that though, but I have seen some scooters go down full on speed. And I'm like, they're gonna really hurt somebody. So I don't think that Governor Hochul understands what she's doing and what she's thinking about, because they're basically saying to us that there's no money for anything. They restored certain things like the trash, officers, police officers. They never said anything about the safety officers, whether or not if they're going to continue withholding that same class, or they have put them back in play, and they were set to graduate, which was extremely sad. So I do not think, and there are not a lot of metal detectors in schools, because again, the way the schools were made, some of them are old, and they're not building any new schools. Let's just be honest with that one. And it's weird, because between the governor, the mayor, and the chancellor of board of education, they have allowed schools to become basically campuses. They're just buildings. There used to be schools that had actual names. If like my old school, Stewart Park was just for students who went to Stewart Park, and they had 2 buildings. One was in a I forgot where at, but it only held students who were in 9th and 10th grade, and then 11th. What was 9? And 11 and 12 was in the main building. So, but that is all gone. And they literally had to restructure the school so that each campus or school has their own little wing of... Sorry. My cat got stuck on my bag. She decided that she wants to play with my bag. Ay, ay, ay. Anyways, So they structured the schools. Each school has their own floor. Again, I don't think that was a really smart idea. We've been having to deal with this for many, many, many moons, and I think that it's ridiculous, and it's just it leads to more problems. And I don't know. I know that there are a lot of people who like this idea, but I also feel that there are also schools that take advantage. And the fact that I see, and I've spoken to a couple of other people as well that have seen, these people, these students who are from these schools in their uniforms acting just wilder than the other so-called public schools. And I keep hearing that people are saying, oh, we should just get rid of them. We should just get rid of them and just have charter schools. And I'm like, first of all, I have never heard of a charter school that has a District 75 or special education. So that's something else that, we need to consider. Each one has their different philosophy, but they still have to abide by standards for New York City education. I don't particularly like their charters. I don't like some of their mandates. They say one thing and their students are totally different. And I understand, kids are going to be kids and this, that, and that. But they're so adamant and they're so defensive and look at you like you're the problem. And it's like, no. Take a look at your backyard before you start yelling and screaming at me or us. Governor Hochul I think that she really needs to take a look, and really between her and the mayor, they need to start talking and working with each other, because there's a lot of things that needs to be ironed out, worked out, and more support. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I never heard anything from Governor Hochul about the squatter rules. I think that, she should have been the first one to thank everyone for working so hard for the bill, and she should have been pushing it even more. Never heard anything. All I hear or heard from her was about the congestion pricing, and it doesn't sound like she's really happy with the DA's office, and rightfully so. Unfortunately, there's some problems there. I do not agree with this the bail reform that we have now. I do think that we should have a bit of tougher laws the way it should be, but I don't want it to go back to where it was stop and frisk and then somebody gets arrested. I do believe that we need some changes, and we need people to be safe. And it's just, I don't know what's going on. But I know that I've talking about a bunch of different topics, but I just think that Governor Hochul is really out of touch, and she's not putting, in my opinion, real solutions in place that will benefit the city, whether it's students, public housing, programs in general. I just think that she is, I don't know. Again, like I said, I think that she's out of touch and not realizing that there are a lot more things that we need to put into place before, if you want to decide whether or not if you're going to get rid of cell phones, and think about what is the consequences, and let's have a real discussion, not just an idea of what you think would help a situation or make you look good in the media. But that is just me. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this here, and I hope that you have enjoyed this podcast. Again, this is just my opinion. These are just my feelings, and these are true facts that I have gathered, and let you guys know what is going on in this city. And yeah. So if you guys have any comments or questions, please leave them down below. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next week in the next podcast. Bye for now.